Okay, let's look at Chapter 7. So this is the skills review. I just printed it off for myself. So we have number 1. It says if 0.111, comma 0.777 is an interval on the number line. Find the values that is in the middle of the interval. So think about the number line. Both of these numbers fall between 0 and 1. So 0.111 would be down there, and 0.777 would be up here. And if we want to find in the middle of there, what we're actually finding is the mean. So you're going to add them up, x1 plus x2 divided by 2. So in my calculator, 0.111 plus 0.777, then divide that by 2. So this comes out to be 0.444. That is your mean. That is in the middle of the data. Okay, so you'll do the same thing on number 2. It's just saying in between those two. Okay, the next one, let -1 is less than the mean, is less than -5, represent an interval on the number line. Find the middle of that interval. So these are both negative numbers. So they both fall behind 0. So let's say this is -11. And then, so this would be -5. So if we want to find directly in the middle, we'd do the same thing. -11 plus a -5 divided by 2. So I'm going to do that. Add that, -16 divided by 2, which gives us -8. So -8 is directly in the middle. Let's look at number 6. It gives us an interval. It is expressed with parentheses around it. Whenever it's expressed with parentheses around it, it does not include the actual numbers. It's everything above 408 and everything below 444. So complete the parts below. Find the value that is in the middle. So it's the same thing. Finding what's in the middle, the mean. Add them up, divide by 2. So 426. The next step is find the distance from the middle of the interval to either endpoint. So if we think about our number line, 408 to 444, and directly in the middle is 426. So it's saying, what is this distance? So we'd need to find the difference between that by subtracting. It's 18. So if this is 18, what would this be? Well, right there, 444 minus 426. It should be the same thing, right? If this is the middle, this is halfway in between. Halfway is 18, all the way is 36. So the distance from the middle to either endpoint is 18. Let's look at another question, number 10. Let P represent any number on the interval. So look at that interval. Rewrite the possible values in inequality notation. So inequality notation would be some number, P, some number. When we're going from least to greatest, we're going to use our less than symbol. So this is our first number. So it's 0.080 is less than P is less than our upper number. Since we're going least to greatest, that's why we use the less than. You do not use less than or equal to unless you have brackets around your two numbers. Parentheses is this. So you'll have two numbers in parentheses, like this one. This one's in parentheses, so that's how we know it's just less than. It's not less than or equal to, unless it's with brackets around it. Okay, this is going the opposite way. Express this inequality in interval notation. we have these less than symbols, so we're going to use the parenthesis. So we do not use that one. You list them in order from least to greatest. So this is the correct answer. Okay, let's keep on going. I'm going to go to my number 14. So 1.66 is less than the mean, is less than 12.1. Represent an interval in the number line. Complete parts A through C. Find the value that is in the middle of the interval and let the variable m represent that. So we're finding what's in the middle. So again, we're going to add them up and divide by 2. So 6.88 is in the middle. So it's like this. 6.88 is in the middle. We have 1.66 and we have 12.1. There we go. So m is 1.66. So that's our middle. It says find the distance from the middle of the interval to either endpoint and let e represent that. So you're finding how far away are they. So you need to subtract them. E is going to be found by doing 6.88 minus 1.66. So 5.22. And you know what? If this is 5.22, because this is in the middle, the upper portion is also 5.22. So they're calling that E. Given the interval in the format of m plus or minus E, what this means is m plus E is the upper number, which in this case it's 12.1, and then also m minus E. That'll be your lower. That's whenever you take m, subtract it. So m is the 6.88 plus or minus 5.22. So you can use these to represent that. So if I do m 6.88 minus the 5.22, I should get my lower bound, which my lower bound is the 1.66, and I do. Then I do 6.88 plus 5.22. I get 12.1. That's the upper bound. Let's go to 16 through 23. It is evaluating formulas. So you are substituting in values. So like for this one, we have p hat is found by doing x over n. So x is 525 on this example. N is 911. So we are just using the formula to divide x by n. We're going to round. This one says 3 decimal places. 0.576. It stays 6 because the number behind it is a 2, so it stays. 0.576. Okay, the next one, you would also plug in the value. So z is found here by multiplying the z value, plugging it in. On this one wants you to have 3 decimal places. So in your original, I would go 4 decimal places. So I'm going to use 4 decimal places whenever I plug it in. Since this is 3, I just go 1 more. So E is found by doing Z, 2.5758 square root of P hat, 0.611, 1 minus P hat, 0.611. So that's a complement over N, 933. And we're going to plug that into the calculator. So 2.5758 times, you do the square root, oops, and then do a fraction, 0.611 times 1 minus 0.611 over 933. And it says round to 3 decimal places as needed. 0.411. Oh, I forgot an extra 0. Sorry. There we go. Number 18. Evaluate the formula. It's another formula. So it says z times, so our z, which is our critical value, 1.96 times sigma over square root of n. I'm going to plug it in. 9 point, this one wants around to 3 decimal places, 0.047. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, I want to do one more. On mine, it is number 21. Evaluate the formula. So we're going to plug in all these values. So n is found by doing z squared. So 2.069 squared times p, 0.38, times 1 minus p. That's the complement, remember? All over e squared. So whenever you plug it in, 2.069 squared times 0.38 times 1 minus 0.38 over 0.02 squared. And round to the nearest integer. So 2,521. Okay, that is all for chapter 7.